Hey there guys, welcome back to Wargaming Luke, and we have some leaked cards out, and I couldn't resist showing you guys. That's what we do here, we cover everything as soon as we get the info on it. They're going to be dropped at some point anyway, but thought I might as well put it out for you guys. They've been leaked everywhere now anyway, so people have hold of them, so we might as well cover it here for you guys who haven't managed to see them yet.
Go inside, get the boy, and kill him. With pleasure.
So we got the new 3 X-Men characters coming out, probably Juggernaut, Brotherhood, right, and then you got Gambit and Colossus for X-Men. Maybe Juggernaut slides into X-Men as well, I would imagine, maybe so, I don't know. But we've got the 3 leaked cards here for you to look at. I haven't managed to get the injured side on Gambit, for some reason I can't find it anywhere, but we've got all of the kind of sides of the cards to look at here for you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. We cover everything as soon as it drops from Marvel Crisis Protocol and give you the best tactics and whatnot. We've got lots of videos coming up for beginners as well, whether you're casual or competitive Marvel players. I'm going to be covering a bit of Star Wars soon, hopefully, as well. So if you're interested in any of that, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Obviously, throw a like on the video and leave those all-important comments down below, guys. Thanks so much. Let us know what you think of these new characters. I'm interested to get chatting to you guys about that. Also, big shout out to our sponsors and my gaming store of choice, Board in Brum. They have a unique Marvel Crisis Protocol team event on December the 4th. Using Highlander rules, you and your buddies can form a team of 3 working together throughout a series of games, giving a different edge than your usual game days, where you will get to try a whole new way of playing and putting new tactics and roster building to the ultimate test. Pick up your tickets now for this awesome day by following the link in the comments and description below. We all look forward to seeing you there. Right then, let's get into these new cards that have been leaked out. Unfortunately, I have to admit this straight away, from some of I haven't, through the leaks I've found so far, been able to grab an injured side for Gambit. I can't imagine he's changed too much on the injured side, but I don't know until we get hold of it. So there is that. Apologies for that. But we do have his healthy side. Gambit looking quite interesting, I think. Bit flimsy, but I think, you know, that's how he probably should be. He's not like a big dude, heavily armoured or anything. He's 3 threat level to take in your roster or your squad. 5 health, what you'd expect probably. Medium movement. Could quite easily maybe have been a long mover, so that's interesting. But medium move. 2 height, as you'd expect. 3-3-3 across the board for all of his defenses. His builder attack here is bow staff. So, similar to like your Moon Knight and whatnot, of the similar sort of builder attack. Range 2, 4 dice, 4 strength. 0 power cost, obviously. After this attack is resolved, gain a flat power. And on a wild, you get a push, and if the target character is size 3 or less before damage is dealt, it may be pushed away from this character short. So, pretty nice builder, really, because you get that push on the wild there, which for a 3 threat, the likes of him, I think that's actually really neat. Nice little thing for extra bit of kit for him to be able to have. Any card for me that has a bit of manipulation on it is immediately better. So I think he's got, and the fact that it's size 3 or less and not 2 or less is really, really good. Obviously, it's pushed away, not in a general direction, which you'd probably expect for a 3 threat character, but very nice all the same. After the Kinetic Ace, another physical attack, so the first one was also physical. This one's range 3, strength 5, so 5 dice, and it's free. This is kind of a second builder. After this attack is resolved, this character gains power equal to the damage dealt, so that's more like your standard kind of builder. Wild trigger here, explosive. Before damage is dealt, and other enemy characters within 2 of the target characters suffer 1 damage. Crazy stuff. And if we look on the next thing here, 52 card pickup, I really like this. An energy ability, and it's a range 4 beam, immediately really nice to have. 5 attacks and 4 power cost. A wild for flurry of cards. When making this attack, each wild in the attack roll counts as 2 successes. That's crazy good for a beam attack. That's really nasty. And what we're going to look at here for his superpowers just make these attacks even better. So all of his superpowers here really are designed to kind of filter into making his attacks even stronger. So he's a bit of a beater really, for your roster. During so accelerate charge here. During the next attack action made by this character this turn, add 2 dice to its attack rolls. And that's 3 power cost. And note that it says to the next attack action add 2 dice to all attack rolls. So his 4 range beam immediately then gets plus 2 dice to each attack roll, which then also gives you more. So that gives you 7 dice per model you're going into with the beam, and gives you more chance of getting those wilds for counting as 2 successes. That beam combined with that, you got to have a lot of power to pull it all off. However, I'm going to touch on that in a moment. Looks really nice. And a reactive superpower, a little something extra for 1 power. After this character rolls attack dice, it may use this superpower. This character may change 1 hit in its attack roll to a wild. So there we go. For an extra power as well, you can even change one of your hits in your attack roll to a wild, which then immediately counts as 2. Or if you're using kinetic ace at range 3, you can then explode with the wild. So you can use it in either sense. You could even use kinetic ace as a builder. Change that with a power to go to an explosive one, get more damage off, build even more power because you're attacking other characters. You want him right in the middle of tons of opponents, right? Right in the middle of tons of enemy characters. Explode into everybody, gain a ton of power from that. Then you want to go into the 50 card pickup after generating that power, beam the hell out of everybody. Once again, you can use a little something extra as many times as you want to for each attack roll that you make in his beam attack. You can then turn 1 hit into a flurry of cards with a wild. So it's each attack roll he makes within a beam. He can quite happily do that. Really cool looking stuff. The last reactive superpower on his card there for 2 power is after enhanced agility. After attacking this character is resolved, this character may use this superpower. The attacking character suffers 1 damage, and this character may advance away from the attacking character short. So the idea is you want to keep him down at the back, away from your opponent's characters, out of range, and then you want to move him into range when he gets a chance to do his thing, right? So looking really good. I mean, that could obviously work well with the likes of Storm, where you use her jump leadership ability, so you can pull him away with his superpower, then when it comes to his actual activation, bump him forward with Storm, use your builder, kinetic ace, build up all that power after maybe exploding, then go into using the 52 card pickup if you get the power for the second action. I can see this being a really nice combo for X-Men. Also, maybe a little more use out of Cyclops' awful leadership ability now, where you can take power off of other friendly X-Men within range to be able to then reduce the power cost of one of your big attacks using that leadership ability. So if you have 2 characters within range, you can spend a power on each one, reduce your 52 card pickup to 2 power cost, leaves you the power to be able to do it, or maybe a little extra power to add some extra dice to the beam, etc. with accelerate charge. So really nice combos. He fits so well into X-Men. He will probably now, I imagine, be a definite take for most of you X-Men players out there, whether you're casual or competitive. He looks really fun to play as well. That beam is gorgeous. That's all we've got to go on with Gambit. Really, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Moving on, we do now have Colossus. I do have the next 2 cards, healthy and unhealthy sides. Colossus is a strange one. I don't really know what to think of him. For a 4-threat character, we'll go through it now, but compared to Gambit as a 3-threat character, I'm not so sure he's going to be as viable to competitive players. To casual players, it will be nice for anybody, to be honest, to have a Luke Cage-esque bodyguard character in your roster for X-Men. So we'll go over it now. He's a 4-threat character, and as we know, 4-threat characters, there's a lot of competition there. 6 health, so pretty decent health, but we'll go more over that once we get to his injured side, which I think is interesting. Only a short mover, which really hurts him here. 3 height though, so he's a big character, 3 size. 4-3-3 on the defenses, not bad, but I mean there's a lot of characters out there that have another defense stat that's a 4 there. I don't know. Maybe his energy could have been 4 as well. Maybe that would have been too strong. I don't know. When we go over his other stuff in a minute, you'll see what I mean. So his strike, physical, so all of his attacks are physical. Range 2, strength 5, so 5 dice. After the attack is resolved, you gain power for each damage dealt, the standard. And on a wild, concussive force, after this attack is resolved, the target character loses 1 power. So nothing massive, really. His spender attack, his big attack, X slam, physical, range 2 again, so there again, like no range for him really. 7 dice though, 3 power cost. Also gives stun automatically, stun special condition to your opponent, which is quite nice, stops them generating too much power, and it also staggers your opponent on a wild. So looks like his attacks are generally based on shutting down models' power capabilities and action capabilities. So not a bad thing when you look at it that way. Superpowers, playing catch, choose an interactive terrain feature of 3 or less within 2, throw at medium. So a nice medium terrain throw there. Pretty good to be fair for 3 power. No character throwing though, which I think's let his card down a bit there. Big Brother, reactive superpower for 2 power. When an allied character within 2 gets attacked, you can bodyguard them. So you can shuffle the attack onto Colossus, basically. Not bad, standard, I guess. And if you do shuffle the attack onto him, he's going to be able to take it a lot harder than other characters. Another reactive power is Bonz Moi. Don't know how you pronounce that, so I'm going to Bozzy Moi. Let's say it's that. Also 2 power cost. When this character is targeted by physical or energy attacks, it may use the superpower. Add 2 dice to this character's defense roll against that attack. Not bad, not too bad. 2 power though, and it's very situational with physical or energy. More mystic stuff coming into the game nowadays as well. I think Colossus is going to be quite weak to mystic. Then an infinite superpower, so this one lasts all the time. So organic steel, when this character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, reduce the amount suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1. So he's one of those characters that can take a hit like Luke Cage, so you reduce the damage suffered by 1. He's immune to bleed, exactly the same as Luke Cage as well, which will come to my point in a moment. Let's take a look at his injured side quickly. He goes up to 7 stamina on his injured side, so he's actually better on his injured side. And then also, if we go down the list there, the Bozzy Moi changes. The ability goes from costing 2 power to just being an infinite superpower, so you just get it all the time. When defending against physical or energy attacks, you add blanks to your defense roll as total successes. I mean, that is better, obviously, than the other side, but you have to be on your injured side to get that. It's very... If it was me going up against this Colossus, I would just leave him be, to be honest. Like, I really wouldn't be too bothered. Maybe just keep pushing him away, throwing him away from objectives. I'd use him to throw at enemy characters because he's a size 3. He'd take more damage himself from that. So it's kind of... It's a strange one. I think he's alright. He's going to be interesting to use. He's going to be a bit of a... He'll still tank a lot of hits. He won't really be going down too often, but that's why he probably won't be on his injured side much either, and it lets him down. Personally, I know he'll be affiliated with X-Men, so it's nice to get an affiliated X-Men character in there, and 4th threat as well. I don't think for a 4th threat he's amazing, though. He's not brilliant. I'd rather take Luke Cage, to be honest. I know he's not affiliated X-Men, but he's literally like does most of what Luke Cage does to a certain degree, bar obviously the attacks that you get that come with a 4th threat and the health and whatnot. He's just a worse Luke Cage for 4th threat than Luke Cage is for 3 threat in my opinion. So I don't know what to think. You guys can let me know if you think he's better than I do. I think it's a bit meh for him. I like the fact that it can shut down your opponent, but for 4th threat, I know 3 threat characters that can do that. So he's cool new X-Men character, right? You guys who play X-Men, it's another character that you can throw in there if you want to. Maybe if there's a 3 threat character in your squad and you've got that one extra threat level that you want to add into your squad for a certain mission threat level, and you just need that extra threat in there, maybe you can throw him in as a 4 instead of a 3 that you've got that you don't mind replacing him with. It's an interesting one, but that's Colossus, guys. A bit meh, to be honest, in my opinion, but pretty cool, though. Good to see his card. Then on to the pièce de résistance, as I always say, Juggernaut himself. And let's go with this card here. So, 5 threat character Juggernaut. I wasn't sure if he was going to be 5 or 6, but 5. I think that makes sense. 8 health, straight away pretty good if you compare him to like recent Ghost Rider and whatnot. For example, he's got 8 health, suits him down to the ground. 4 size, he's a massive boy, he's a big boy. 4-3-5 on defenses, and when we go to the injured side, that does change, but it reflects his helmet, right? Because he can deflect all sorts of powers coming at him, and when he loses his helmet, he goes into disarray. So, as you guys who read the comics will know, and the movies and all that jazz. So, really strong card on his healthy side to hit down. You want to be targeting with that energy probably there. But he's got a strike, so this is his builder. 5 dice, but after the attack is resolved, gain that power for the damage dealt. And you get a push on a wild. Before damage is dealt, this character may push the target character away short. Pretty nice. I mean, Gambit has the same thing technically, but his doesn't have a size restriction on it either, as you'd expect. Not a bad builder, pretty standard I suppose. Then his big attack, right, his spender is 4 power cost, but it's range 2, 7 dice. I'm the Juggernaut, and on a wild you get to rush, which is very likely on 7 dice, right? After this attack is resolved, if it is during this character's activation, this character may immediately use the Nothing Stops the Juggernaut superpower without paying the power cost. Nothing Stops the Juggernaut superpower cost. It costs 3 power usually. If you get the rush on the I'm the Juggernaut, it doesn't cost anything. This character is pushed short any direction if it does not stop its movement. If it contacts a size 3 or smaller interactive terrain feature, so you just keep going through it. Instead, the contacted terrain feature is destroyed, then this character continues being pushed. If this character contacts one or more other characters, one contacted character suffers 1 damage, then this character, and note that says 1 character has to be chosen, so even if you're touching 2 at the end of the movement, only 1 takes the damage. Then this character stops as normal. A character can be damaged by the superpower only once per turn. If this character has the stagger special condition, it loses it. So you lose stagger as well if you have it, which is really nice. So, if you're up close and personal with your opponent and you've got stagger on you and you're about to activate and you've got 3 power in the bank, spend 3 power, push him forward with Nothing Stops the Juggernaut, and you get to cause a damage to one of your opponent's models. You're even closer than you were, and you lose stagger, so then you get 2 actions for that turn, because you get to use superpowers before you shake stagger. So perfect power for him to have. He can't really be staggered too easily unless his power's too low. Nice punch for 1 power. If this character would suffer damage, it may reduce the amount of damage suffered by 1. Makes sense. This character cannot be pushed or advanced by the special effects of enemy mystic attacks or enemy superpowers. So you can't be pushed or advanced by mystic attacks, which is interesting. Some do that, I guess. And then you can't be pushed or advanced by enemy superpowers whatsoever, right? So Enchantress ain't having a good day against him. Anyway, Unstoppable Momentum. This is also something that lasts forever on him, right? It's an infinite power. After this character resolve a move action during its activation, it immediately gains 2 power. The next attack made by this character, this activation adds 3 dice to the attack roll. This character can be affected by the superpower only once per turn. Nice. So only once per turn. However, let's say he's not staggered. Let's go straight into a move action with Juggernaut to get up close and personal with your opponent. You're then in range to do an attack. So you're gaining 2 power. So you gained 1 at the start of the turn. So you've now got 3 power. You next attack, you know you're getting plus 3 dice to the attack roll. Let's say you've got 4 power to do your spender, use I'm the Juggernaut, and then rush and also get Nothing Stops the Juggernaut for free. Or if you don't, you could just use a strike, and then you could use Nothing Stops the Juggernaut anyway, because your strike's going to be on 8 dice. If your opponent's left on one health, finish them off with Nothing Stops the Juggernaut, because you have that 3 power to use. Lots of different combos you can use with Juggernaut. He's immune to stun as well. So means he's not going to be losing too much power. He's going to always have that power generation, which is really nice for him. And just makes sense thematically as well, I suppose. Let's go to his injured side. Same stat lines, other than he goes down from 5 mystic defense to 2. This does hurt him on his injured side. However, I think you're going to get the most out of this guy anyway on his healthy side before he goes to this injured side. So I think it's going to be okay, to be honest. Unless everybody in your opponent's team targets him, we'll have to wait and see. There's other characters we've seen that have this kind of thing going on, because he loses his helmet, right, on his unhealthy side, and that's what protects him from all the mystical spells and things and beams that come at him. So if you're going up against like, you know, Convocation or something like that, or maybe Midnight Suns where there's a lot of mystic going on, he might get hurt a little bit by that opposition, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, he gains a superpower on his injured side, Avatar of Cytorak. Choose an interactive terrain feature or an enemy character both of size 3 or less and within 2, and throw them medium. The superpower can only be used once per turn. That's 3 power cost. So, hey, what can I say, guys? I mean, if you're putting this guy obviously into Brotherhood alongside Magneto, you're gonna be causing people a lot of trouble. And also bear in mind, if you're running through terrain and destroying terrain, Magneto's his leadership ability, you're gaining power on cards for destroying the terrain. He slots so well into Brotherhood there, makes a lot of sense. It's a shame that he only gets that Avatar of Cytorak on his injured side. He could probably do with a character and terrain throw on his healthy side as well, but I can kind of get why, because I suppose his healthy side is quite strong. So it's a really interesting card. This guy's just going to be great fun to use though, right? He looks really fun to use for sure, and I'll even look forward to using him myself. Very exciting stuff. That's Juggernaut though. Let me know what you guys think again in the comments down below. So guys, thanks so much for watching to the end of the videos. It really does help the channel. Thanks so much. And also to those of you who leave comments down below the videos, it really does help push our kind of videos being pushed out there more to be seen by more people, I suppose you could say. So thanks so much. And as always, by the end of the video, I always use a quote from one of the heroes that we've been talking about, and I couldn't resist doing one from Juggernaut. He says, "I'm the Juggernaut, ain't nothing, ain't nobody can beat me." So there we go. Thanks to Juggernaut, and thanks to you guys for watching, and as always, happy wargaming, guys. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Make sure to check out all of our socials. If you want some quick reads on everything Marvel Crisis Protocol, you can go check out our friends over at Web Warrior Protocols. But for all your wargaming and of course Marvel Crisis Protocol needs, go over to Board in Brum for fantastic discount prices. All of these things, links can be found in the description below this video. Happy wargaming.